Hey guys, I'm Rana Reyes, Realtor of the BRIDGEWELL Real Estate Group.
And I'm Rico Berg, Realtor with BRIDGEWELL Real Estate Group.
And today we're going to be talking about the City of Port Coquitlam. It's one of the three in the Tri-Cities located between Coquitlam and Pitt Meadows.
And so this video we're going to be talking about pretty much everything that you need to know when it comes to Port Coquitlam. Of course, as realtors, we are going to be talking about real estate and types of homes, but you're going to learn a lot more in this video. We're going to be going through schools and how the school system works here in Port Coquitlam. We'll go through main roads, transit, accessibility, access to highways. We'll also go through things to do, both indoor and outdoor, grocery options, urban centers. So why don't we just get into it? So getting into how to understand the area of Port Coquitlam, I think it's first important to know that this is actually a part of the Tri-Cities, so that being Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam respectively. Port Coquitlam is the furthest east of the Tri-Cities, and the way that I kind of like to break it down mentally for myself is north side Port Coquitlam above Lougheed, and then south side Port Coquitlam below Lougheed. Now you have 10 different sub areas within the Port Coquitlam area, and there's a lot of differences between them, but just so you kind of understand where they're positioned, on the north side above Lougheed from west to east, you are going to have Woodland Acres, then Glenwood and Oxford Heights, then Lincoln Park, Birchland Manor, and then Riverwood all the way furthest to the east. On the south side of Port Coquitlam, as you kind of get into that central core just right below Lougheed, you have central Port Coquitlam, which is the downtown area. Then moving a little bit further south, you've got options like Maryhill and Lower Maryhill, and then Citadel. So those sub areas all together make up Port Coquitlam as a whole. Now in terms of like top areas within the Port Coquitlam neighborhood, I mean it really depends on your preferences, but I would say very popular ones are Central Port Coquitlam, Citadel, Lincoln Park, and Woodland Acres. A lot of the times people are choosing areas also based on how close they are to Coquitlam and how close they are to transportation and accessibility. Central Port Coquitlam, super popular because you are in that downtown core area. You've got access to a bus that will take you directly into the Coquitlam SkyTrain station. Woodland Acres being really popular because you quite literally share a border with Coquitlam, and you are really close to that Coquitlam City Center area or New Horizons on the like north side of that Woodland Acres sub area, which is walking distance to a SkyTrain. Lincoln Park, super popular. It's on the north side. You've got a lot of homes that are greenbelt options, things like that, and you also share a border with Burke Mountain, which is a really popular area in Coquitlam, right off of Victoria Drive there. Then on the south side, Citadel, I'd say it's really popular because it's a little bit more of like a luxurious, prestigious neighborhood. You're really close to the Maryhill bypass. You've got a lot of bigger homes, a lot of newer homes, options for both like detached strata, detached non-strata, and then really nice townhouses. So that kind of breaks down like the top neighborhoods within Port Coquitlam and some of my reasons why I think that they're the top.
So let's go over some of the key areas and some of the key landmarks that you're going to hear about when navigating around POCO. One of the urban areas that you want to look out for is Fremont Village, which is kind of on the east side, right beside Pitt Meadows. You also have downtown POCO, or also known as Central Port Coquitlam. When you go to the north side, you're going to have the Coast Meridian and Prairie. That's kind of the cross streets that you're going to find, which is around the Lincoln Park and Glenwood area. Some of the key landmarks to keep an eye on is Lions Park, Gates Park, Coquitlam River, the Triboulet POCO Trails, Port Coquitlam Community Center, Colony Farm Regional Park, Castle Park, Coast Meridian, Oxford Crossing, and the good old Costco. So let's get into the outdoor activities that you can find in the city of Port Coquitlam. One place you could start out is Gates Park. There are a bunch of tennis courts there, soccer fields, baseball diamonds, so you're going to find a lot of sporting events over there. If you go a little more north, you could find Lions Park, which is a great spot for a picnic with the family, especially with some toddlers or young kids, because they have a great playground out there. You also have Castle Park, which is in the Citadel Heights area, and you're going to be able to see a nice fireworks display on Canada Day. And if you're into golf, definitely check out the Carnoustie Golf Course, which is an 18-hole links-style golf course. And the City of Port Coquitlam is a really dog-friendly neighborhood. You're gonna find a lot of trails out there. One area is the Coquitlam River. You can go down your tube, set up a barbecue, hang out with some friends over there on a nice hot day. You'll also have the Triboulie Poco Trail. That basically goes all around Poco from Coquitlam River to the Pitt River area. Perfect for a long bike ride or some runs. And you also have the Hyde Creek area with a bunch of local easy trails to follow. And there's gonna be a really big city center redevelopment plan. This will be a phenomenal area moving forward. It's in the central Poco area and it's gonna be designed to attract families and people of all ages to the downtown area and give them a reason to stay, whether it be through improved event space, performances, public art, or even just park space. Most notably, they're expanding the Lee Square area into an open concept festival space for events and a day-to-day social use with more than double the current space and capacity.
So Radnor's already covered a lot of the outdoor activities in terms of physical things to do, but if you're looking for something more indoor, there's two different rec centers that you'll find in Port Coquitlam. On the north side, you'll find Hyde Creek Rec Center, which also has an indoor pool. But if you're looking for something a little bit bigger and a little bit newer, the City of Port Coquitlam actually just invested a ton of time and money into a brand new 205,000 square foot facility right in the heart of central Port Coquitlam off of Wilson. That's the brand new Port Coquitlam Rec Center. It's got an indoor pool, it's got swim lanes, it's got a steam room, a sauna, it's got multi-purpose rooms, it's got a rink for hockey and figure skating in the winter time and lacrosse in the summer. You've got a field, a lot of different options in terms of programs for both youth and adults, so definitely a good place to check out. If you are thinking about things more what is there to do in terms of retail, grocery, shopping in Port Coquitlam, there's a lot of actually different hubs that you can find places or things to do. So where we are right now, I'm in the downtown core, just right off Shaughnessy. You've got a Donald's market for groceries, you've got a Fresh Mart, you've also got a lot of different local shops, restaurants, retail tax place, you've got a games place, lots of different options here. You also have popular options like a bowling alley and then also the Giggle Dam, which is a comedy club that's really, really fun. They've also got a restaurant portion so you can drink, eat, go catch a good show. It's really, really fun. In the downtown core as well, you also have the Port Coquitlam Farmers Market, which usually happens once a week. So definitely a good option if you're looking for fresh local produce or just to support local businesses in general. Downtown Port Coquitlam really isn't the only place that you can find stuff to do though. Just north of the downtown area, you also have Shaughnessy Station Mall, which has all outdoor retail shops, restaurants, popular favorites like Earl's. You also have a great dim sum place. You've got Quiznos, you've got the Safeway, Anytime Fitness, lots of options there. Then just right further to the east, you've got Oxford Crossing. This has a very popular Gold's Gym. It's a great facility. It's actually where Radnor goes. A lot of our clients, a lot of our friends go there. That's an awesome place if you're looking for a gym. You've got Banks there, you've got a florist there. One of my favorite butcher shops to go to is there. It's also Meridian Meats Farm Market. You've got a Kin's Farm Market there. You've got No Frills Grocer if you're looking for an affordable option. Lots and lots of spaces to check out within that Oxford Crossing area. If you're moving a little bit further east again, you've got Coast Meridian. That north side there has a lot of different places in terms of retail, commercial as well. You've got a Save-On there, you've got a Starbucks, you've got a lot of different restaurants, Poco Soap, Petro, the Arms, liquor store, all that jazz is right there. Again, a little bit further east, very, very popular and well known is Costco. A lot of people in the Tri-Cities go to this Port Coquitlam Costco. It's nice to have it right in your own city. You also have a lot of people coming from Pitt Meadows as well that come to that Costco. If you don't have a Costco membership, not a problem. You've got another Save-On just right there as well. Lots of different restaurants options there too. You've got Orange Kitchen and Bar, you've got a Tim Hortons there, lots of other stuff like sushi restaurants, pho restaurants. Good place to check out. You've also got the Home Depot, which is one of my favorites, and if you're into Korean food, Korean grocer, you've got an H Mart that just recently opened up there as well. Last but not least, you have Fremont Village on that furthest east side. That one's the newest area. You've got a Walmart there, you've got a Canadian Tire, you've got a ton of different restaurants, Five Guys, Noodle Box. You're only going to start to see that area expand as well. If you're looking for fun indoor activities, Fremont Village is definitely where it's at. They've got indoor breweries, they have a provincial spirits if you're looking for cocktails or something on the rocks. They've got an indoor climbing center, which is called Hive. That is so much fun. Definitely something that you should do. And they also have indoor axe throwing if you're looking for something a little bit more adventurous. So these are just like kind of scratching the surface of all the things that you can do in Port Coquitlam, both indoor and outdoor. Lots of different options. Safe to say you're never going to run out of something to do within Port Coquitlam. And even if you do, you've got popular pit meadows to your east. You can go check out Osprey Village or a lot of the trails and things that they have over there. Or head on over to Coquitlam, check out Coquitlam Centre Mall. It's one of the biggest malls in all of the Tri-Cities, and that's only like 5 minutes away from a lot of the spaces within Port Coquitlam. So all in all, lots of options. I don't think you're going to run out of things to do here.
And when it comes to schools, Port Coquitlam breaks down into 3 categories. You got elementary schools from kindergarten to grade 5, middle schools from 6 to 8, and high school or secondary schools from 9 to 12. There is an exception though if you're looking into the Catholic or private school sector. There are some popular schools out here. You have Our Lady of Assumption going from kindergarten to grade 7, and Archbishop Carney from grade 8 to 12. With the public secondary schools, we have Riverside, which is right here. They have the French immersion program. And then you also have Terry Fox Secondary on the north side of Port Coquitlam. They have a ton of extracurricular clubs and programs from chess to wrestling. So quite a bit of options. It just depends on your geographic location and the catchment.
And so moving on to my favorite part, which is of course real estate. There are lots of different options here in Port Coquitlam. You have got condos, you've got townhouses, you've got duplexes, and you also have detached homes, both strata and non-strata. Now, if you're looking for more into the nitty-gritty, condos specifically, the 2 areas that you are going to find condos in Port Coquitlam most commonly is definitely Central Port Coquitlam, which is known as the downtown core, and then also Glenwood, which is on the north side of Port Coquitlam. And so in Port Coquitlam, you are definitely going to be seeing more of like a wood frame, low-rise, maximum mid-rise type of product. Most of it is going to be built within the 90s, but there was also a push 2008 plus all the way up until today's date, which is 2022. And so those are the 2 age ranges where you're probably going to see the bulk of condos in Port Coquitlam. With that being said, there are obviously anomalies to this. You have a popular complex in Central Poco, which is built in the 70s. You've got other ones sprinkled throughout the decades, and you're obviously going to see a lot of stuff moving forward as well. But generally, that's what you're going to find here. Now, when we're talking about like moving forward, obviously newer products come into the market. You're starting to see redevelopment here. Even though most of it is wood frame right now, there is one concrete building that's kind of in that like meat of Port Coquitlam. It is right in the downtown core, high-rise condo at the corner of Shaughnessy and Lougheed, very roughly. A lot of people don't know this actually, but there is one other high-rise concrete building that's technically considered Port Coquitlam, but a lot of people confuse it with Coquitlam. It's right at the border of Coquitlam and Poco at Westwood and Lincoln. That area there is also actually being redeveloped, and you're going to see more multi-family product come in there, possibly high-rises. And so if that's an area that you're wanting to learn more about, because it is actually the only area I would say that I would walk to from Port Coquitlam to a SkyTrain. It's called Woodland Acres, and it is Westwood Woodland if you want to Google it, and I will leave more information for you guys as well. So all in all, as I said, mostly wood frame product, some high-rises, potentially high-rises moving forward, and primarily built within the 90s and then post-2008 for the bulk of the product. Moving on to townhouses, you've also got a lot of different options. Where you're going to see the bulk of the townhouses is certainly Central Port Coquitlam, Mary Hill, Citadel, Glenwood, and also Fremont Village, which is technically the Riverwood sub-area. And so for that bulk of the product, I mean, you see a lot within the 90s as well. But if you're looking for newer product, I mean, Fremont Village is definitely a newer area. You're going to see most of that building be 2010 plus. In terms of what you can see like the product look like physically. Very normal to see like a 3-story stacker, traditional garage, kind of what you would expect in like the 1,300 to say like 1,500 square foot range. But you definitely can get other products as well. Citadel is known as like more of a prestigious area, and so you definitely get things that are a little bit bigger. You'll actually commonly see some townhouse developments that are in the 2,000 to 3,000 square foot interior range for a townhouse. So if that's something that you're looking for, then Citadel is definitely an area that you would want to consider for that. And there are also non-traditional townhouses too. So think like a 2-story townhouse with a separate entrance, but then it has an underground garage. So it doesn't have that traditional garage, hence untraditional townhouse. And then, as I said, if you're looking for a little bit of a newer product, then Riverwood is probably an area that you're going to want to check out, just because that area was expanded. It's the furthest east. It's kind of at that border of like Pitt River, Pitt Meadows. And that's where you have a lot of different commercial and retail spaces as well. Definitely a cool urban center that Port Coquitlam has developed very recently. Moving on to detached homes, you can pretty much get every option under the sky, but what you're very commonly going to see is a 2-story home. You're going to get a lot of variations of that, whether it just be like a standard 2-story, say with a suite on the bottom, or a split level home, whether that be, you know, a 2,000 square foot 2-story home on a 4,000 square foot lot, a little bit smaller. You see some of those in Woodland Acres or Glenwood, or if you get like a much bigger lot, 9,000 square foot lots, really common to see in spaces like Mary Hill. Maybe you get a view, split level or 2-story, a lot of different options with regards to that sprinkled all throughout the city. If you are looking for a little bit of a bigger home, then Citadel is definitely a space you're going to want to check out. These are where you have primarily homes built in the late 80s and the 90s. You've got 2-story with a basement or 3-story homes that are quite big, very commonly in the 3,000 square foot range, but even up into like 4,000, 5,000 square foot interior range. As I said, the bulk of this area is detached non-strata homes, but you will also see some spaces that have detached strata homes where you might be paying a maintenance fee. So just pay a lot of attention to the land ownership. One of the few areas that you are going to see that is actually Lower Citadel, closer to the river and the Mary Hill bypass. They have some really nice homes there that are detached homes, so you don't share any walls with anybody, but they are strata, so you will have to pay a strata maintenance fee. If you're looking for kind of like the top areas in terms of real estate for each particular space, I would say the top one for condos is definitely Central Port Coquitlam. It's right in the downtown core, so an obvious favorite for that reason. If you're looking for townhouses, definitely Fremont Village, Riverwood area, super popular just because you have that community and it is a newer space. But I also really like the townhouses in Citadel, and also right at the bottom of that Mary Hill area and Central Port Coquitlam if you're looking for something a little bit more central. Then for detached homes, I mean, it's really subjective based on what you want, but I would say that very popular areas, definitely Citadel, Woodland Acres if you're looking for something closer to Coquitlam and the SkyTrain. Mary Hill, I really like it. They've got big lots and they've got nice views and just very quaint homes. And then another one, if you're looking for Northside Port Coquitlam, definitely Lincoln Park is a popular one as well. So if you are looking for information specific to you for real estate and kind of want to share a little bit more about your needs and your wants, definitely feel free to reach out to me. As I mentioned, Renner and I are both realtors. We move people into Port Coquitlam all the time. We're very familiar with the area and would be more than happy to help you figure out which neighborhood in Port Coquitlam would be best for you. So last but not least, we're going to be talking about main roads, transportation, and accessibility. So in Port Coquitlam, you do not have a SkyTrain like the rest of the Tri-Cities, but you do have a number of different buses that will take you right into Coquitlam Central SkyTrain Station, where you can link up to the Evergreen line, which will take you through Coquitlam into Port Moody and then all the way up to Burnaby's Lougheed area, which will then connect you to other popular lines like the Millennium Line and also the Expo Line, which will take you into Surrey and the Fraser Valley, or out further west into places like New West, Burnaby, and of course Vancouver. If you are looking for another way to get into Vancouver, Port Coquitlam does actually have a West Coast Express rapid train. It's a rapid train that will take you straight into downtown Vancouver's waterfront station area. That's definitely a popular option. Now, if you're looking for another way to get into Vancouver, you may also consider a bus, like just a good old-fashioned bus. There's actually a very popular route. Currently the number is 160, where it's a bus that will take you all the way through Coquitlam, Port Moody, down Barnett Highway, down Hastings into the Vancouver area. That also has a number of stops for you if you're looking for a non-rapid option that has a little bit more option in terms of drop-off points. If you're looking for just accessibility within the city itself, Port Coquitlam is actually a very accessible city in terms of their bus routes. You've got a lot of different bus routes heading all the way through South Port Coquitlam and then also North Port Coquitlam. Right now we are at Port Coquitlam Station. This is the main hub where the West Coast Express pickup is and where a lot of the bus loops or the buses will come back to and loop back to. If you're looking for other options heading into neighboring cities, on the east side you've got Pitt Meadows. You do have a number of buses that will head out east into Pitt Meadows and Maple Ridge, and of course, as I already mentioned, a lot of buses that will take you directly into Coquitlam and specifically the SkyTrain station. Rander's going to cover options in terms of like car transportation, but I think that one other thing that you want to consider is expansion of future roads and accessibility in the future. One that is really highly anticipated and talked about is the Fremont Connector. This is going to connect a lot of the north side of Port Coquitlam, specifically in that like Lincoln Park area and actually bordering up into Coquitlam Burke Mountain right off Victoria. The reason why this is important is because a lot of the people from Burke Mountain are actually using Port Coquitlam as a main roadway, specifically Coast Meridian. It can get very, very congested, and so having this Fremont Connector added in the future, it's anticipated to be within the next 2 years or so, so kind of 2024 to 2025 is when they're likely going to start construction. That will honestly alleviate a lot of that traffic congestion on Coast Meridian moving forward, and will connect that North Burke Mountain area, Lincoln Park, all the way down to more accessible highway options as you get to that Fremont Village, Riverwood area, and connecting down further south into the Maryhill bypass.
So if you're thinking about taking a car, a lot of people like to use like the downtown Vancouver area as like a landmark. How far is Poco from that area? So if you're starting from like the Citadel Heights area, more of the southwest part of Port Coquitlam, you could expect about a 30 to 40 minute drive. All you gotta do is take the Maryhill bypass and connect you to Highway 1. But if you're a little deeper into Port Coquitlam area, like the Lincoln Park, northeast area, you could expect something about 45 minutes to an hour. The hard part is just getting through those side streets, getting through those main roads to connect you to the Maryhill bypass. So some of those main roads that you're gonna hear about or probably use if you're exploring the neighborhood are Pitt River, Shaughnessy, Loweyd Highway going west to east, and the Loweyd Highway connecting you to the freeway, Prairie, the Coast Meridian overpass that connects you to the South Poco, and the Maryhill bypass. Well, that's a wrap for our video about City of Port Coquitlam. We hope you enjoyed it, learned a lot, and got a bit of a glimpse of what you could find in the lifestyle living here.
And if you are looking for more information on Port Coquitlam and what it's like to live here, of course you can always feel free to reach out to us. We are your local realtors, and so we know all about the ins and outs of the area, and we can always recommend the best areas that work for you or your family. If you're looking for just generalized information, you can also find a lot more on our YouTube channel or our website. Just look up BRIDGEWELL Group. You're going to find a lot of different videos for specific sub areas within Port Coquitlam, both video content and blog content, so that's a really good place to check out. Again, we do hope that you like this video. If you have any questions, comments at all, make sure to like, subscribe, or just reach out to us directly. Thanks again, guys.